Well, the clock is ticking. That's the warning from members of Biden's own party as a growing chorus of lawmakers are questioning his viability as a candidate.
House Republicans, on the other hand, saying they saw it all along and blasting Democrats for ignoring a president very visibly on the decline. One of those GOP lawmakers is House Intelligence Committee Chair Mike Turner, and he joins us now. Congressman, thank you for joining us. As we look at this, I'm looking at a list here. I think we're up to 3 House Democrats that have said explicitly Joe Biden should leave the ticket. And then we hear reports of a dozen to 2 dozen others waiting to do so. Does the president need the support of his own party to be the nominee?
Well, clearly you have a growing number of Democrats who are questioning whether or not Biden can be president for the next 4 years, where many of us on Capitol Hill are worried whether or not he can make the next 4 weeks. With reports coming out now that the president has turned to his son, Hunter Biden, and including him in a very serious national security meetings, the concern rises as to, is Hunter Biden receiving classified briefings? Is he getting access to classified material? Here's a gentleman who obviously has no experience in any national security issues, a very questionable background. You've got a president of the United States who has a record of recklessly handling classified information, with the special counsel even saying criminally handling classified information, but he wasn't prosecuted because, he's too forgetful. Now you have reports of perhaps his son running things at the White House.
Congressman Turner, to that point, you've sent a letter calling for some congressional oversight as to Hunter's new role. We know the press secretary said he's been in meetings. We saw him at the Medal of Honor ceremony. And your letter says this, that it is disturbing to learn these events are transpiring in the West Wing. It's unclear what official meetings and phone calls Hunter Biden is participating in and in what capacity, and whether these discussions include classified information. I want to know about that, but I also want to know, big picture here, whether there needs to be a select committee into Biden's mental acuity, because I'm reading a Bloomberg headline about allies saying he needs to step aside. We just heard from Kevin McCarthy. Foreign leaders have called him expressing concerns. So this is Hunter, but it's also big national security picture.
Right, and I know that there are a number of decisions that are on backlog in the White House that have serious national security implications for which no one is making decisions. And I think many times when we hear Biden speak, we wonder whether or not he understands his own policies. I think we're getting to understanding that he does not. He certainly doesn't understand the implications of the decisions that he's making. But the fact that he's turning to his son Hunter, of course, has no official position in the government, should not have any access to classified information, should not even be in these important national security discussions, really shows that things are deteriorating very concerningly at the White House.
Congressman, I've had a lot of people write me on social media since this story came out that Hunter was privy to or in the room with potentially classified information. We've seen both President Biden and President Trump be scrutinized over their handling of classified information and who they allowed access to it. And what we've learned is there's a lot of ambiguity over the authority the president has. Do you understand if there's a formal process, if the president with his authority can just say, listen, I want that person in here? Do you understand what the formality of it is and what would need to happen, or what hasn't happened, or potentially what rule was broken?
Right. Well, the president is the ultimate decider. But in this instance, what you're having is the president including him in discussions that are being conducted by other staff members, and the disclosure of information that perhaps the president, hasn't even digested yet. So he's clearly not in the position where he's making active decisions as to what information we disclose or not. This is fraught with peril, and is certainly incredibly bad precedent to have certainly a family member who's just been convicted of a felony by the Department of Justice taking up a case against him, and now he's sitting in the Oval Office, perhaps in decision making with his classified information being discussed, which could even be being presented by the Department of Justice that just took him to court.
Wow.
A lot of questions. Thank you for trying to get answers. We're all interested in those answers. Congressman Mike Turner.
Thank you.